the second webinar in the series. I'm very happy that you've chosen to spend your time today with me, and I hope I will be able to give you the information that you need. So just to introduce myself, my name is Seshne Govender, and for more than 15 years I've been steering the helm of intricate IT projects across many sectors such as your financial services, telecommunications, and retail in South Africa. At beginning my journey, I actually began as a chemical engineer. I quickly found myself, drawn towards the strategic and tactical aspects of project management, initially within the banking industry. And over the years, my roles, they've evolved from a process engineer, so that's what I've started off as, to a business analyst. Then I took on project manager roles, and then eventually program manager roles. And currently, I am certified both program manager professional and project manager professional through PMI. And I have to say that those qualifications have actually been instrumental in my success in my career. And due to that, I actually want to use, my passion and extensive experience to empower others to succeed also in the field, because it is very rewarding. And, therefore, I'm taking this opportunity to maybe invite you to take advantage of the training programs that I offer. I offer training for PMP, CAPM, DASM, and DASSM certifications. And I think, you probably ask yourself, so why would, you choose me specifically to attend training with? And I just want to maybe, explain. So from an experience perspective, because I've got that 15 years of experience and I've managed quite complex projects, and I've faced so many obstacles, many of the challenges that you will encounter in your project management career, I feel that I will be able to advise you. I actually feel and know that I will be able to advise you going forward. Because I've actually, attained the PGMP certification as well as the PMP certification, together with other disciplined agile certifications, I do have a thorough understanding of the industry's best practices as well as its methodologies, and I'll guide you in acquiring the knowledge and the skills that you need and are critical to your success. And I do also offer a personalized approach. So I do understand that every person has their unique learning needs and career aspirations. Therefore, my programs are flexible. They are tailored to align with your specific career goals. And then I also provide continuous support. So commitment to your success doesn't just stop after the training course. It actually goes beyond the duration of the training course. I provide ongoing mentoring, coaching, support, helping you to navigate the path towards becoming a successful project manager. Okay, so I think you need to seize these opportunities to be able to, study and move your career along the path. And I would say let today be that day that you take your step, towards realizing your full potential in the project management field. So that's about me and, why I've started this journey that I'm on currently. So in our session 2, what are we going to cover today? So we're going to do the exam pattern, the application process, as well as talk about the study materials that will be required. So just a breakdown in terms of all of the things that we will cover in our session today. So initially for those people that haven't joined my session 1 or didn't have an opportunity to look through the video, I will cover a quick refresher and a recap of that session. We'll talk about the roles that are available in the industry, both the entry-level PM and the senior-level PM. A little bit about your career roadmap, how you should, get there, how to get out of your comfort zone. We'll do the panel review and the application process. I'll take you through some of the stats. It's actually quite interesting, so I'd like to share that. We'll go through some exam preparation tips, also discuss the domains between the PMP and the CAPM. A quick sort of syllabus analysis. We'll go through the total questions in both the certification exams, the study materials and the books that you would need, some frequently asked questions that I normally get. So I'd like to, share that also in the session. It could help. It could help you. And then also a quick snippet about what's coming in the next webinar. So doing our session 1 recap. So talking about the PMP eligibility criteria. So what would you need in order to be eligible or apply to take the PMP exam? So if you are a holder of a 4-year degree, the good news is that you will just need 36 months of experience leading projects, and those would need to be within the last 8 years of your career. In addition to that, you'll need 35 hours of project management education or training. And if you have a high school diploma or an associate degree, then you will require 60 months of experience leading projects, so just a little more, 2 years in addition. And that also needs to be within the past 8 years of your career. And then also the 35 hours of project management education or training. Okay. To take the CAPM exam, if you have a secondary degree, like a high school diploma, you wouldn't need any experience hours here. You would just need 23 hours of project management education or training. The last time we also went through the timeline. So to go through that, once you start your application on the PMI website, you have 90 days in order to complete the application process, okay? Once you complete and submit your application, PMI normally takes 5 to 7 days to review that application and provide you with a decision. There is a small percentage of applications that also go through the audit process. So if you are chosen to go through for audit, you have 90 days to be able to complete that process. Once your application is approved, you will be able to schedule your exam. From the time that you schedule your exam, you have a year in order to take and pass the exam. Okay, so within that time frame of a year, you have 3 attempts to be able to take the exam. Okay, I should let you know that attempt 2 and attempt 3, you will have to do an additional payment in order to take the exam again. And then, from the date of passing your exam, you have 3 years to gain the necessary PDUs, or what's called professional development units, to be able to renew your certification. So within this 3 years, you can then, build up your PDUs to what you require. Okay, so if you hold the PMP certification, you'll need 60 PDUs. If you have the CAPM certification, then you'll need 15 PDUs. Okay, so once you've obtained the PDUs, then you can then renew your certification. Okay, if you don't renew your certification, right, your certification will go into suspended status, right? And that suspended status lasts for a year. So if you don't do anything while your certification is suspended, then that means that your credential actually expires, okay? And at the end, then this means that, you know, you don't hold the certification anymore. And if you would then want to, you know, get the certification again, you actually start right from the beginning. That is, you know, reapply from application stage. So I would suggest that, you know, if you put the hard work into obtaining the certification, then you should just, you know, do your PDU so that you maintain the certification. Okay, then the last time we also chatted about, you know, the different roles. So the figures here that's shown on the slide is actually the average salaries for a person in the specific role, right? So I'd like to also explain a little bit about the roles. So for a project manager trainee, this is actually an entry-level role, right? It's for individuals that's beginning their career in project management. They'll also need some training and mentorship to be able to develop the skills and the knowledge, okay? And that's basically on the screen, the salary that somebody in that position would earn. Then the next is the project manager. Okay, so this role, it requires managing projects from initiation all the way to completion. It includes planning, execution, monitoring, control, and closure of the project. Okay. When you get the opportunity to become a senior project manager, okay, you're looking at you know, that's the salary. It's I would say a substantially higher than a project manager. Okay, so more experienced project managers will have a senior project manager role. They'll manage larger, more complex projects. Okay, the role will also involve mentoring maybe less experienced project managers. For the project coordinator role, that role involves supporting project managers and the teams with coordination of resources, equipment, meetings, information. Okay, so that's what you'll be doing in part of that role. There's also in the industry a PMO analyst, and this is a strategic role. It involves, you know, the analysis. It involves analyzing and improving your PMO, the PMOs that exist and other project-related activities in the organization. Then for your PMO manager, this person oversees the project management office. You know, they ensure that the projects are carried out correctly and efficiently. And you'd also perhaps be involved in strategic planning and governance of the project management standards and techniques within the organization. Okay, so that's roughly the span of average careers that exist in the market. Okay, so moving on to, you know, our now webinar 2 content. So first we'll talk about the entry-level PM and the roles as well as the senior level PM. So if you're thinking, which certification do I take for the different roles? Okay, you know, you will choose your PMP if you have experience leading projects, and that's actually leading the projects, or you will choose CAPM if you're starting out, right? So that's basically the differentiator there. So for the entry-level project management, right? So the CAPM certification here is an excellent entry-level certification. It's designed for those or project managers that have less experience but are keen in stepping into the project management world. Okay, it will help you improve your credibility in the industry. It provides you with essential project management knowledge and skills, and it also helps you to set yourself apart from the other people in the industry, right, who's also wanting these entry-level positions. Okay, so with the CAPM under your belt, these are the roles I think that you can target. So firstly, it's the project coordinator. Okay, we've discussed that a little bit earlier, but you can assist in the planning, the executing, and the monitoring of projects, ensuring that the activities of the projects are carried out in accordance to the plan, right? You can also do an assistant project manager role. So in this role, you'll support a project manager in overseeing project tasks. You can manage team members and ensuring that the timelines are adhered to. So that's the sort of experience that you can gain in that role. Then we've also got an associate project manager. So as an associate project manager, you can actually manage sections of a project if it is quite a large project, or even run smaller projects independently, okay, by yourself, coordinating the teams, liaising with the stakeholders. Then the next role is junior project manager. So in this role, you'll have the opportunity to manage your own projects under the supervision normally of a senior project manager or a program manager, and you'll be responsible for the planning, the execution, and the closing of the projects. Okay, so each of these roles will give you the hands-on experience that you require and will allow you then to apply the knowledge that you've gained as part of the CAPM certification in a practical setting. Okay, so once you gain the necessary experience, then you can move on to getting the PMP certification. Okay, so looking at the senior project management roles. Okay, so the PMP certification, that's your ticket to senior level roles in the industry. Okay, some of the roles that PMP certification holders have, firstly, senior project manager. Okay, so as a senior project manager, as discussed, you manage large scale, very complex projects. You'll oversee every phase of the project life cycle. You'll lead your project teams, and you will be responsible to ensure successful project deliveries within the stipulated time and budget. Okay, there's also a director of project management. So in this role, you can oversee the entire project management office, define the strategic direction of projects, manage a team of project managers, and also ensure the alignment of projects with the organizational goals. Okay. There's also Vice President of Project Management. So as a VP, you'll hold a key executive role in your organization. Okay, it will be a strategic role. You'll be responsible for developing your project management strategies, the policies that should be followed, the procedures, and ensuring that they're implemented consistently across your organization. There's also executive level roles. So as a top level executive in project management, that's a C-suite member, like a chief project officer, and they are responsible for ensuring project management best practices and ensuring that it's integrated into the organization strategy and operations. Okay, so those are the span. So securing any of the senior level roles will actually mean that you need to have a deep understanding of project management, strategic thinking, and leadership. Okay, you'll also need decision-making skills, and the PMP certification will actually show that you have that expertise. Okay, it's a vital stepping stone for a prosperous career in the project management field. So, building your career roadmap. Okay, firstly, in order to do that, you would need to get out of your comfort zone. So, have you ever wondered what lies beyond the comfort zone? I really encourage you to discover your untapped potential that awaits outside the familiar territory that you find yourself in. And the reasons for that is, okay, once you do that, you're going to experience unprecedented growth. Okay, so stepping outside your comfort zone isn't always easy, but it's where the magic happens. It's where you challenge your preconceptions, you acquire those new skills, and you ignite your enduring passion for learning. Okay, you can also boost your productivity. So staying within the confines of what's familiar can actually lead you to stagnation. However, when you decide you want to go beyond, you open yourself to new techniques, new strategies that will actually, be able to significantly increase your productivity. It also enhances your adaptability. So we know that the world that we live in actually is evolving at a rapid pace. And in this new world that we find ourselves, adaptability is the key skill. So by stepping out of your comfort zone, you will become more comfortable dealing with the change and more adept at adjusting to these new situations. Okay. So you need to embrace the opportunity to promote your personal growth, boost your productivity, enhance your adaptability at every chance that you get so that you remain relevant in the market. So how do you recognize if you're actually within your comfort zone? There are certain signs that you can look for. So firstly, the first sign is you might find that your job responsibilities are executed with ease and there's no challenges, okay, and no growth. So because you are so proficient, it will lead to getting regular paychecks. You will definitely be quite stable. It will give you stability. But there's also that lack of opportunity to expand your skills. Okay, so that's the first sign. Secondly, if you look around, you'll realize that you don't have any benchmarks or role models within your organization, or if you look further, even in the broader industry. Okay, you actually have no one to compare yourself to. So therefore, you become complacent. And because of that, it actually hinders your motivation to be able to strive for that continual improvement of yourself. Okay, the third sign, you may experience a sense of self-sustainability. Okay, you have a view that there's a lack of opportunities, or you don't need to advance your career. You're comfortable. Okay, so the sense of satisfaction of the status quo, how things are, while it is comforting, it can signal potential stagnation in your professional development. Okay. And what you would notice, in addition to these factors, you might also notice a resistance to change. You actually prefer your familiar routines that you've created. Okay, this can hinder your adaptability and your long-term career progression. Okay, keeping you locked in your comfort zone. And therefore, while the comfort zone, it definitely offers security, it's a comfortable place, it will curb your growth and your potential. So stepping beyond it can be the key to continuous learning, growth in your career, and reaching your full potential, which I think is what everyone needs to strive for in their career. So how do you now step out of your comfort zone? So taking the leap outside the comfort zone, it's going to feel intimidating, but it's going to be that crucial step towards personal and professional growth. Okay. Some tips that can help you make that leap, hopefully with a little bit more confidence. Okay. So firstly, you need to identify if you've got any potential barriers affecting your career. So take a good look at your career landscape, okay, assess it. Try to find and identify any obstacles that could be holding you back. These might be skills gap that you identified. It could also be your fear that you have that you might fail if you move out of your comfort zone. Or you might experience, as I mentioned, that resistance to the change. So firstly, finding, assessing, acknowledging these barriers is actually the first step to overcoming them. Secondly, once you've identified them, you can create an action plan. Okay. Set achievable goals. Lay out clear steps to reach your goals and establish a timeline. That's very important. Okay. This will give you a roadmap to navigate your journey beyond your comfort zone. Then you also need to ignite your self-motivation. So pushing past your comfort zone requires a good dose of self-motivation, definitely. You need to find what truly ignites your passion. So what makes you happy? And use it to drive your efforts. Okay, what is your driving force? Remember that the motivation that you have will stem from a place of desire. So what do you want? Okay, what do you deeply want? And definitely not any obligation. So therefore, it's very important to find your passion. Okay. So then you can seek support and guidance from mentors. So you don't have to do this process alone. You can lean on mentors for guidance, support, and encouragement. Okay. They will have insights and experience that can perhaps be invaluable as you move into this uncharted territory that you've defined. Okay. You need to stay positive and self-motivated. Facing new challenges is going to be tough, but maintaining a positive attitude is going to be crucial. Believe in your abilities, remain motivated, and remember, every challenge is an opportunity for growth. Then nurture your creative thinking. Breaking out of your comfort zone normally involves thinking outside the box. You need to foster your creativity by exploring new ideas, taking those risks, and embracing different perspectives. Question your beliefs. Sometimes it's actually our own beliefs that can keep us trapped in our comfort zones. Therefore, it is important to challenge those beliefs, especially if they're limiting, your potential. Replace I can't with I can, and watch how it changes your perspective of what you can do and what you can achieve. Okay. Then tip number 8, learn from your mistakes. No one is immune to making mistakes. However, the key is to see them as learning opportunities, definitely not setbacks. So from each mistake, you have a chance to improve and grow. And lastly, dream big to make it happen. Okay, dare to dream big, set goals for yourself, and don't be afraid to chase them. Remember, you're capable of more than you think. Believe in your dreams, make a plan, and turn them into reality. Moving out of your comfort zone might seem daunting, but just remember, that's where the growth will happen. It will be a journey of self-discovery. You'll learn, and ultimately, you will reach your full potential. Okay. So once you are motivated to move out of your comfort zone, we can take the next step by starting our application process. Okay. So the process to apply for the PMP and the CAPM certification, it will involve several steps. Firstly, you need to fulfill eligibility criteria. So before starting the application process, you should ensure that you meet the eligibility requirements. Okay, the eligibility requirements will typically include both a combination of education and project management experience. Okay, we've discussed this earlier in the webinar. Then the next step is to complete the application. Once you've confirmed that you meet the eligibility requirements, you can begin your application. So this steps involves filling out the application form that's available in the PMI website. It requires detailed information about your education, your work experience, project management experience, and contact hours of your formal education. once you submit your application, there'll be an application review where PMI will check the information you've provided for completeness, and they will verify that you meet the eligibility criteria that they've set. So the review process can actually take up to 5 business days. Some applicants might be randomly selected for an audit before proceeding to the next step. Okay, once your application has been reviewed and approved, you'll receive an email invitation to pay for the exam. And after payment, then you can schedule your exam appointment. PMI will provide you with the necessary information to contact Pearson VUE, who's the provider, and arrange a date and location that works best for you. Okay, so that's the application process. Then the stats. This is actually quite interesting. So if we see, okay, currently there's a large number, as we can see, of PMP and CAPM holders worldwide, right? And this testifies to the significant value and the global recognition of the certifications, okay? Therefore, pursuing either the PMP or the CAPM certification is, a substantial career move. And this is for any aspiring project management professionals. I'd like to also show you the stats across the different continents, just for, for information. So if we look at North America, we see that the top 3 contenders, or where most of the certification holders are, firstly, it's USA, followed by Canada, and then Mexico. So these are the stats that's, as of the 12th of July. So it's quite recent stats. Okay. If we go to South America, we find that Brazil leads the race in South America, followed by Colombia and Peru. And these are the numbers of the certification holders there. In Europe, it's actually Germany that leads the race, followed closely by Spain and then Italy. And then in the Middle East, we've got Saudi Arabia, followed by the UAE and then Qatar. In Africa, we've got Egypt, followed by Nigeria and then South Africa. So South Africa is where I'm from. So I'm one of those individuals there. And then in Asia Pacific, right, we've got China, India, and Japan. And China's numbers for PMP is actually quite impressive, as we can see. It makes up about 1/3 of the PMP holders. Okay, so the reasons I shared these figures with you, right, is so that you can see that the certifications are global, right? Both the PMP and CAPM, they're certifications that's highly recognized globally. So regardless of the region, the credentials that, the certifications are continuing to gain traction. So that means that people are finding value in the certification, and certification numbers are definitely growing as a result, okay? So the certifications have proved that they definitely enhance career prospects, they lead to increase in salary potential, and they also foster your professional development. And that's the reason why people attain these certifications, okay? I'm also one of those people that actually have gained a lot of value from the certification and was able to grow my career quite successfully. I'm actually still a practicing professional while I offer the training to help others along the journey. So PMP and CAPM exam preparation tips. Okay, so firstly, both the certifications, they're comprehensive courses, okay? And because of it, you do need dedication and discipline, okay? This means that you will need to make time in busy careers and also busy home lives. You will need daily diligence to be able to carve that time out that's needed to focus and understand all the material. So all of the domains, the tasks, the enablers, ensure that the practice questions are used for each section so that you get a feel for the type of questions in the exam, okay? So basically saying, in order to take the exam, you do need to be dedicated. You need to, allocate the necessary time to this. And then practice tests. This one I have to stress a lot. I've also read articles and journals that says or have evidence that actually shows that individuals who do practice tests and then do them well will score better than individuals who don't. Okay, therefore it's essential to take the practice exams. Okay, you need to simulate the real exam by ensuring that you have a quiet space and the time to complete the exam. Remember that when you're reviewing your answers, don't just review the incorrect answers, which most people do. Review both your correct and incorrect answers, because this will actually help you gain a better understanding of the content. So you'll see the reasons why the correct answer was chosen, as well as why the answer that you've chosen is incorrect. Okay. So I would suggest taking at least 3 exams, okay, full-length exams before taking the real exam. Okay, and once you score well in those 3 exams, then take the real exam. So preparing. So preparing for the project management professional and certified associate in project management exam, it's an intensive process, but this slide will give you an approach to effectively getting ready. So firstly, what do you need to do? You need to understand your exam structure. So grasp the exam format. You need to know the number of questions, what sections are part of the exam, and the duration. Okay? Review the exam content outline. So you need to familiarize yourself with the topics and the domains covered in the exam. Utilize your study resources, so leverage the textbooks that's provided, the PMBOK guide and any online materials. Create then your study plan from these. So you can design your personalized study schedule, taking the time for each topic based on the weightage in the exam, so you can use that as a guide. Practice then with the sample questions. So regular practice will help you understand the types of questions that you're going to come across in the exam. By doing them, it will also improve your speed. You can also join study groups or forums, so you can engage with fellow aspirants. You can exchange knowledge. You can clarify any doubts you have. You can also get insights to any questions that you have. Then you must practice time management. So learn to manage your time efficiently during the exam. And you will be able to do that by trying the full-length mock tests for practice. Then review and revise. Regular revision will help cement the concepts in your memory. Okay. And a very important item is to take breaks and then practice self-care. So you need to avoid burnout, especially since you will be studying during the night, working during the day, as well as balancing family life. So make sure you do take the regular breaks. Try to maintain a balanced diet. Also make sure you are getting adequate sleep. Okay, the sleep will be able to help you retain the information that you've studied. So that's actually quite important. Okay. and then stay updated with the latest PMBOK guide. So basically, if there's any information that's mailed to you from PMI, just keep a lookout for those. And then also you can learn from PMI authorized training partners. You can consider enrolling for courses offered by PMI authorized training partners for structured learning. Okay, so just to let you know, I am also a PMI authorized trainer. Okay, so the approach ensures a well-rounded preparation. Okay, so what's on the slide is going to make sure that you have a good approach. Okay, it's going to enhance your chances to pass the exam. Then going through the domains. So the new CAPM certification, it's structured around the 4 key domains, which you will see in the slide. Okay, so the project management fundamentals and core concepts, that makes up 36% of the exam. The domain forms the backbone then of the exam because of its weightage. It then obviously accounts for 1/3 of the content. It covers the fundamental principles and core concepts of project management. So it includes things like your initiation, planning, execution, monitoring, and closure of the projects. The next item is the predictive plan-based methodology, making 17%. So in this section, you'll have your traditional project management methodologies, emphasizing a planned and structured approach. It also involves understanding of the detailed project schedules, risk management plans, and other predictive tools. Third, now we've got agile frameworks or methodologies making up 20% of the exam. Okay, this recognizes the growing significance of agile in today's project environment. It focuses on your agile principles and practices. It delves into the iterative development cycles, managing change and promoting then collaboration. And 4 is the business analysis frameworks, which constitutes 27% of the exam. Okay, it explores how the project will align to the business objectives, ensuring that it delivers value. It will involve your stakeholder analysis, requirement gathering, and solution evaluation. Okay. So this, it's a balanced focus on the fundamental and specialized knowledge, and it will ensure that CAPM holders are definitely equipped to handle a variety of project management scenarios that they will face when they take up entry-level project management positions. Then the project management professional PMP certification, it's organized around the 3 domains. So the people domain makes up 42% of the exam. The domain primarily then focuses on leadership skills, how you manage and lead a team within your project environment. It covers aspects such as conflict management, team building, effective communication, and stakeholder engagement. The process domain is the largest domain, covering half of the exam. This pertains to the technical aspects of managing the project. So from initiation, planning, executing, monitoring, controlling, to closing the project. It goes into deep understanding of the various project management processes, methodologies, and then the best practices. And then lastly, we have our business environment, which constitutes 8% of the exam. Although it has the smallest rating, this domain is critical for understanding, as it emphasizes then the connection between projects and your organizational strategy. It will involve understanding things like your project compliance, benefits management, and how external factors then impact the project. Okay. The domains provide a comprehensive view of project management, from handling teams to managing processes, and then understanding that business environment. And it will equip all PMP credential holders with all of the knowledge and the skills to be able to succeed in any project environment across any industry. Okay, so moving on to the syllabus analysis. So the current exam for CAPM, that can be taken until the 24th of July, so until about next week. And then we have a new exam that will replace the current exam on the 25th of July. And once you take or start looking at the new training materials, please make sure that you also look at the new exam content outline. Okay. So if you have been preparing and you will, take the exam within the next week and you are preparing based on the new syllabus, there is a CAPM Pilot exam that is available that you will be able to take. Okay, it covers the domains that we've discussed already, and then the questions I'll just address in the next section. Okay, so PMP and CAPM total questions. Okay, so how many questions will you have when taking the exam? So in the CAPM exam, you're going to have a total of 150 examination questions. 15 of them, okay, are pre-test questions, so they're unscored. And you have 135 questions which are scored, and you have 3 hours allocated to taking the exam. Okay. The pre-test questions, you might want to know what that's about. So your pre-test questions, actually, they don't affect the score that you will get. They are placed in the exam, however, as it's a way for PMI to be able to test the validity of their future examination questions. So therefore, it is placed in the exam. Then for your PMP exam, your number of total questions is 180. There's only 5 pre-test questions as part of this exam, and there's 175 scored questions. You have a total of 230 minutes to be able to complete the exam. Okay, so moving forward to the materials, right? So for CAPM, you will find in the new exam reference list, it actually lists the materials that you need to be able to prepare for the exam. The 3 major ones, or the most important, I would say, is the PMBOK 7th edition, so the first book on the list, the Business Analysis for Practitioners, a practice guide, the second on the list, and then, the Agile Practice Guide, which you'll find in the bottom row, first book. So those are the 3 key books. However, there are sections that is referenced for the remaining 3 books. Okay, there's a very nice breakdown in the new exam reference list, so you're welcome to have a look at that. For the PMP exam, there is actually 10 books that PMI references. So the project managers that have developed the questions for the exam, they've actually referenced these 10 books. However, the major books, okay, or the most important for the exam is the PMBOK 7th edition, the Process Groups of Practice Guide, and then the Agile Practice Guide. So this would give you the content that you would require to be able to pass the exam. Then I also wanted to share with you this app. It's actually called PMI Study Hall. Okay, it's a tool that can be used while you're preparing for your PMP exam. It can be used to prepare as well as fine-tune, your abilities. It has comprehensive full-length practice exams. It also has, little mini tests of about 15 questions each. For each of the questions, you actually have detailed explanations and solutions to the questions, which is quite helpful. There's also flashcards, and then, if you like a more fun way to study, there's also some games, so that might appeal to you. And I just wanted to highlight the tool if you are unaware. I think it actually is a good preparation tool, so you're welcome to have a look. So ways to fulfill the project management education or training. You have your instructor-led class. So this could be a physical class. It could also be a virtual one. So instructor-led training, then typically, it provides that interactive learning experience. You'll have direct interaction with the trainer and then your fellow learners. There's also a self-paced online course. So if you prefer to learn at your own pace, there's also numerous online courses available. And these usually, provide a series of videos, quizzes, course materials. You can access it, anytime that suits you. And then if you've taken a project management course as part of your university or college studies, you can check with PMI whether, the syllabus then qualifies for that 35 hours of training. So going through the frequently asked questions that I normally get. So the first one is, how do I earn PMP PDUs for renewal at a very low cost? Okay, so earning PDUs is actually quite an important aspect for maintaining your PMP certification. So there's several ways to earn PDUs. The first one is PMI membership. So as a member, you do have access to many opportunities to earn free PDUs. You can attend the PMI events, the webinars, and other educational sessions. You can share your knowledge by contributing to the project management community. You can also earn PDUs that way. You can create webinars, you can write articles, participate in discussions. That will also earn you PDUs. And then just by doing your daily job, you also can earn 8 PDUs. Reading is actually another area where you can earn a lot of PDUs. So by reading books, you can actually claim also PDUs. And remember to document your activities carefully, because you'll actually need to report them to PMI to actually receive the PDUs. So is the PMP certification worth it for IT professionals? So the certification, it validates, the project manager's skills, the capacity to ensure successful project delivery. And I think it's a crucial aspect for IT professionals, given the complexity that they're going to face for projects in the sector. So the certification, it equips the IT professionals with a solid project management methodologies. It boosts project performance and efficiency. It enhances the credibility of the project manager, and it paves new ways for new opportunities. So for IT professionals that actually want to improve their project management expertise, I do think that the PMP certification is a wise career investment. Okay. Next, what are some suggestions to keep projects under control as a new project manager? So managing a project effectively demands then keen attention to the risks, issues, budgets, timelines, and stakeholders. Okay. So I would say key is risk and issue management. So you need to regularly update and review your risk and issue logs to mitigate the potential threats and tackle the current problems efficiently. Because by staying proactive about the potential challenges that you're going to face, you can actually respond to them quicker. You need to be constantly monitoring and forecasting. So you need to keep a close eye on your project timeline and your budget. Watch for the variances between the plans and the actuals. Regularly forecast future project status based on the current trends that the project has, and adjust your cost. So course correct when needed. Okay, so that will ensure that you stay on track towards achieving your project objectives. And then stakeholder management. So communication is definitely key when it comes to managing stakeholders. You need to keep them informed about the project progress, the risks that you're facing, any potential challenges. You need to tailor the communication to suit the needs of each stakeholder group, because your regular and clear reporting can help maintain that stakeholder support and engagement that you would require throughout the project lifecycle. So is there any online certification course in project management like PMP? So, you know, if the criteria for PMP is not achievable, then definitely the CAPM is a good alternative. The other alternatives is the Prince2 certifications. There's the Prince2 Foundation that doesn't require any project management experience. And then once you acquire the relevant project management experience, you can actually take on the Prince2 practitioner certification. So does the PMP certification help in freelancing? Okay, so I would say absolutely. So earning the PMP certification, it's, you know, a significant career booster. It lends credibility to your skills and expertise in project management. It makes you more appealing to employers. Companies then tend to trust your ability to lead and deliver the projects effectively. It reduces their risks. It enhances their efficiency. So it's also a credential that transcends industries and geographical boundaries. Therefore, you know, being a freelancer, you can anticipate an increase in job prospects, and that's often accompanied also by better compensation packages. And is the PMP certification worth it for people with PhDs, which is the next question I get? So absolutely. The PMP certification, even for PhD holders, it actually adds practical value. While the PhD will offer you theoretical insight, the PMP certification ensures that you get the practical project management application. It's also recognized globally across industries, as mentioned. So therefore, it not only validates your hands-on skill, but it also enhances your global career opportunities, and then also indicates your commitment to professional growth. Okay, so therefore, the combination of both the PhD as well as the PMP will definitely significantly boost your standing in the job market. Okay, so I think I would now take any questions. So if anybody has any questions, you're welcome to post them. And actually, if you know you don't have a question just yet, but as you're busy, you're welcome to link to me or connect with me on LinkedIn. And you know, once you're there, you're welcome to ask any questions. I do look at that platform quite regularly, so you're welcome to reach out to me there as well. Oh, so I actually do have a question. How strong should a PM be emotionally? Okay, so because a PM needs to be able to lead the project team, you do need to be able to have a fair understanding of your emotional capacity. Okay, so that means firstly, understanding yourself, being aware of how you handle difficult situations. Okay, and once you are self-aware, that's when you will be able to you know, work on those items that you need to be able to lead the team in difficult situations. So definitely a PM would need to be emotionally aware and definitely quite, strong in their ability to be able to motivate team members, especially in quite difficult, challenging situations. Also to be able to guide stakeholders and also, the broader project team in terms of leading and directing the project and understanding the best way through many challenges in your project. So I would definitely say that, you would need to be strong. And then if you feel that you are not strong at the moment, that's okay, because you just need to have or go internally and try to assess and understand yourself a little more. And then once you understand that, there's always, opportunities to learn, to grow, to get there. So I don't think it should be something that would deter you from the path of being a project manager. Okay, I think being and understanding your emotions, is definitely a strength. So then moving on to session 3. So in session 3, we're going to cover the domains, the tasks, and understanding of the PMBOK. So once again, I'll do a refresher from session 2. We'll talk about the domains and the tasks. We'll talk about the PMBOK and its structure, its 12 principles, the performance domains, common pitfalls and mistakes to avoid, which is something I think that is quite important. Sample exam-like questions, quite important for you to understand so you're able to fare well in the exam. We'll do again frequently asked questions that I normally get. And then also, the upcoming session roadmap. So our next session is then on the 16th of August. Please book it in your calendar. I'd love to see you there again. And, I'd really like to thank you for joining the webinar series, and I really hope that it has been beneficial to you. You're welcome to reach out to me. Please give me feedback on the webinar series as well. I'd really like to cover topics that, that you would like to get feedback on. I'm also happy to take any feedback that you have in terms of, bettering the webinar, things like that. Happy to learn. Yeah, so thank you very much, everyone. It was lovely to spend this time with you. And if you're on your journey of PMP and CAPM, I really wish you luck. And if you haven't started yet, then I do motivate you, to get onto the bus and onto the journey. Thank you, everyone.